Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Oh, great. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so if you wouldn't mind, I would like you to just type in the chat section where you're dialing in from. We've started already. I want to welcome you to the Greatness Code webinar. And I want you to tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited you are about this webinar and what your expectations are. Just type them quickly in the chat. I can see Jennifer, Agodi, Peace, Marigold, Kelechi, Felicity. You are all welcome, 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 welcome. So I would like you to type in the chat where you're dialing in from and what your expectations are this morning. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited and expectant are you? Because it's very important that you have a level of expectation when you come into a meeting, because that would directly impact on how fast and how deep you glean knowledge. Yeah, so let me have those comments in the chat. Where you're dialing in from, what your expectations are on a scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you about this meeting, this webinar? Keep your charts coming. Yes, I'd like to read from you. Oh, someone saying, I'm super excited to be here. Me too, me too. I'm super, super excited to be here also. Can I have somebody else? Marigold says, I'm super excited to be here. I'm dialing in from Lagos. Welcome, Marigold. Thank you for committing to your growth and personal development. Yes, yes, yes. Can I have 1 or 2 comments? 1 or 2 comments? Good morning. She said, Julie says she's dialing in from Port Harcourt. Good morning, you're welcome. And thank you for committing to your growth, your personal growth. I applaud you. I applaud you. So I can see the excitement in the room. If you're excited, you better motivate me. If not, I won't talk. Let me see your emojis. Let me know how excited you are about today's meeting, because as you can tell, I am pumped and ready. Yes. Jennifer from Lagos says she's 20 over 10. Wow, excited to be here. I'm expecting to unleash my greatness after getting and cracking the code. Good job, Jennifer. Good job, good job. Okay, so we'll just go right into it. Welcome, everybody. My name is Ezinne Okule here. In case this is the first time you're meeting me, I am a self-actualization coach. I help visionary leaders upgrade their impact, their influence, and their affluence. My core message is found in this statement. I help visionary leaders unleash their greatness. Please mark this statement, because I'll be referring it to this statement often while the webinar goes on. I help visionary leaders unleash their greatness one version at a time. And that's because greatness in itself is released in versions. You don't release one greatness and then you say, I am done. Until you leave planet Earth, there will always be a higher level of greatness that has been orchestrated by God for you to share with the world. Your job is to become the person that can release this greatness in versions, not simultaneously, systematically, and quickly. So that's my assignment in a nutshell. And we run an academy called the Mindfield Academy. And this is just one of our expressions. And that's why we're holding the Greatness Code webinar today. If you're an ardent follower of mine, you will know that everything I say, everything I do, everything, how I express myself always boils down to greatness. And you will have heard me repeatedly say that there is a seed of greatness in every man, and that the viability of that seed is dependent on the man. So God's gift to you was to place greatness inside of you. Your gift to him will be to cultivate, as it were, that greatness and share with the world. How many of you got that? God's gift to you was to deposit greatness even before you were born inside of you. Your gift to God is to cultivate that greatness and share it with the world, as it were, and solve a unique problem. How many of you got that? How many of you got that? Oh, somebody's saying great to be here, dialing in from Leicester, United Kingdom. Another one, oh, I'm so happy for all of you to be here. So that's basically what I'm about. That's my message. That's my core message. So every time I see somebody, I am wondering, at what level of greatness are you playing? Have you recognized your greatness? Because there are 3 dimensions into unleashing your greatness. All of us always starts with where I called concealed greatness, right? Where your greatness is concealed, you are unaware of what you carry. You're just living life from day to day without necessarily intelligently recognizing your unique giftings. And that's where unleashed greatness. At some point, you move from, covered greatness. At some point, you move from it being concealed, and then you move to what I call activated greatness. And that's what happens in between this point, is that you're beginning to come in contact with knowledge, understanding yourself more, getting more self-aware, interacting with yourself, as it were, and interacting with your assignment. And then you get to where greatness is activated. That at this point, you start asking, you start feeling uncomfortable, and you're saying, there is more to me than meets the eye. There is something I'm made to do, but I don't know how. Maybe you went into a meeting, or you heard somebody like me speak, like in this kind of meeting, and then when you leave the meeting, you can't sleep anymore. You're like, there's something I'm supposed to do. You begin to get uncomfortable where you are, whether it be your work, whether it be at home, whether it be wherever you are, you're uncomfortable as to where your life is right now. At that point, you can say that your greatness has been activated. Now, the last point is where greatness is being unleashed. And that's where, between your greatness being activated and your greatness being unleashed, is what we call a shift, a growth gap, right? So you grow, and then you start executing, and then you say you have unleashed your greatness. When it is time to unleash another level of greatness again, you go back to the beginning again and start again, right? So my job to you today is to demystify this thing called greatness, purposeful work, purposeful living, and fulfilled living. I want to demystify, because a lot of us are very confused as to, what am I doing here? What am I sent to the earth to do? How can I maximize my greatness? I don't know if you've ever seen people do epic and prolific stuff in their sphere of influence, whether it be in healthcare, whether it be in education, whether it be in politics, governance, spirituality, religion, whatever it is. And you're like wondering, how are these people doing this thing so well? What is their secret? And then it looks like their secret is kind of shrouded in secrecy. And sometimes you may even go to meet these people and say, teach me, how did you get here? Some of them will be open to you, but most often than not, some of them would not, or they will give you tidbits of information shrouded in secrecy. And you're wondering, how do I get this done? What we are going to do today in today's webinar is to take these seeming secrets and demystify them into codes that you can take, apply them to your unique context, apply them to your sphere of influence, and without fail, get tangible results. What do I mean? That these codes work anywhere. If you're a teacher, if you're in the educational sector, if you're in the healthcare sector, if you're in the fashion industry, if you're in the knowledge industry, whatever industry that you're in, if you just take these codes and apply them systematically, you are guaranteed to achieve tangible results and release levels of greatness about yourself in your sphere of influence that you never thought possible. Now that brings me to, what are codes actually? What exactly are codes? Codes are a set of instructions or rules crafted together. They are a system of words, letters, figures, or symbols used to represent others, especially for the purpose of secrecy. So the first, just hearing something being called a code denotes secrecy in some way. And so that's the dimension that we are looking at in this webinar. But what I want to do for you today is to take this code that seemingly look secret, are shrouded in secrecy, and demystify them for you and bring them for you and make them like ABC, something that a 16-year-old can apply and achieve results. What I'll be sharing with you is freemium. And please, I want you, if you don't have a journal with you right now, I permit you to just take 1 or 2 minutes of this call. Get and assimilate knowledge. Make sure it's quiet. Get a glass of water because we are in for about 1 to 2 hours on this call. 1 to 2 hours on this call. So make sure you get a journal. Make sure you're writing. While I speak, not everything I say will come to you as for you as it were. I want you to take hold of those things and write them down. Keep them as your own light bulb, something that is just for you. Not everything I say here this morning will be for you, but that thing that is your own, own it, take it, sit on it, and apply it to your life until you receive tangible results. I still want to thank you again for committing to your growth. I'll say that over and over again. Now, the second dimension to growth, codes, is that codes are a set of instructions or rules, laws that if systemically applied, produces without fail an inherent results. It produces without fail an inherent result. It is called systematic because you must apply them systematically. And when you apply them systematically, it produces without fail tangible results. And you can be great at literally anything. I don't want anybody to tell you otherwise. You can be great at anything. I don't care what it is, whether you're in the educational sector, fashion industry, or whatever industry you are. Your assignment is not to show up there normal. Your assignment is to show up in the highest, greatest dimension of yourself. Because greatness is not something that I'm going to hand to you in this webinar. Greatness is what is already in you. It is your unique DNA put by God in you. All I'm doing in this webinar is to show you how to unleash it, how to manifest it, and how to apply it to your chosen sphere. So I'm not handing you something that you don't already have. I am just calling to bear, calling to limelight, calling to the forefront what is already deposited inside of you. And that's, like I said, greatness is released in versions. Greatness is released. Can somebody turn off? I think I'm hearing Hallback. Admin, please, can you switch off everybody? Make sure everybody's on mute, please. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So like I said, when I started this webinar, that greatness is in versions. So what usually happens is that after releasing a first version of yourself, for some people on this call, all of us are in different points in our lives. For some of you, you have not even assessed your greatness at all. You are wondering, what is even this greatness thing? And you're like, how do I find it? Where do I even start from? That's another level. For some of you, you're already manifesting a level of greatness, but you are asking, something is boiling in my heart. I know that the next level beckons. I know that the next level, I am at the neck, right? At the neck of the next level manifestation. And I'm saying, and you're asking, how do I scale my greatness? I know that I have released versions of my greatness, but now it's time for a higher dimension. These codes will still apply. And that is why this code is not a straight circle, like it's not a vertical line. It's actually supposed to be a loop, in that when you complete the circular loop, you release a level of greatness and you are seeking to go on a higher dimension. You come back to the loop again. You come back to the loop again and then start again from the beginning. And then you release another version. When you're done with that version, you start again. How many of you understand what I'm saying? Please, if you're following me, I want to hear you in the chat that you're following me. I like feedback so that I know, oh, great. She said, we do, great. So that will now take me right now. So now let's get right into it, into the codes of greatness. Let's get right into it. I have on my list, number one, as a code of greatness is what I call conscious awareness. I want you to take them down. conscious awareness. That's the first, greatness code, conscious awareness. And conscious awareness speaks to your intentionality of being aware of what you were gifted with. Your intentionality of being aware of what you are carrying. Your intentionality of being aware with how best you serve the world. Your unique wirings, what God placed in you that makes you different from every other person on the world. Because what you don't know is that the greatness that God gave you was put in you before you were born, right? So what you do whenever you discover it, it's your morning. It's your morning, but it starts from a place of awareness, because you cannot leverage what you are not aware of. You cannot leverage what you are not aware of. Greatness is in your DNA. But what usually happens is that most of us have gone through life numb. We are numb. We are numb to what is happening on our inside. And when you are numb to what is happening on your inside, inadvertently, you'll be numb to what is happening on your outside. Because the conditioning, what is happening on your inside, right, will mirror. What is happening on your outside will mirror what is happening on your inside. So if you are numb inside, you will most definitely be numb outside. So some of us are numb inside, maybe because of what we've been through in life, our unique experiences, the kind of, some of us have been through trauma, right? Life's challenges, subconscious conditionings that we got while we were growing up. Some of us heard over and over again while we grew up, is there anything that you can do? You are not intelligent. Why are you not smart? Why are you like your brothers or sisters? And we have run with this conditioning that has made us numb to what we carry. But let me say this. No matter what you have been through in life, I don't care what it is. And I'm not being insensitive here, but I'm saying the truth. Be it a loss, be it a trauma, be it whatever, tell me what it is. Whatever you have been through in life does not and cannot and will not negate the greatness that God put on your inside. It is a DNA that cannot be tampered with. It is a DNA that cannot be tampered with. I don't care if you were abused. I don't care if you suffered loss. I don't care if you were talked down on. I don't care if you had a negative childhood experience. I don't even care if you are in a marriage that has hit the rocks. It does not negate what you carry. What you carry is encoded, kept safe by God's divine DNA. You cannot lose it. The only thing, the worst that can happen is that you can live numb to it. You can live unaware to it. So whenever you trigger your awareness of your greatness, your morning begins. So it's not that when you met your greatness, then all of a sudden you found something new. No, what you did was to become aware of what you carry. And that is the first code on the greatness code. You must become consciously aware. You must live, and that's why if you notice, the first thing written on my screen is live awake. A lot of us are living asleep. You are living, but you are sleeping. You are numb on your inside, and therefore you are numb at your outside. You just wake up and you're comfortable living life day to day, the same job. You just go out and you just come down. Nothing motivates you. Nothing excites you. You are not excited about tomorrow. You are not excited about waking today. You are just comfortable. What is happening to you is that you are living asleep, but you need to live awake. You need to awaken the greatness on the inside of you and become more aware of it. Because until you are aware of something, I will say that again, you cannot leverage it. It's as simple as that. Take, for example, there is a sales going on in a departmental store. And then the sale is going on for a particular period of time. And then you meet your friend in the office or your colleague, and she's saying, didn't you take advantage of this sale? I got this at this store. And you're like, what sale? I'm like, oh, I wish I took advantage of this. And you're like, the sale, is it still on? And she's like, oh no, it's over. You're like, oh my goodness, I should have taken advantage of this sale. I would have got this for myself. I would have got that for myself. You couldn't take advantage of it. You couldn't leverage it because you were not aware of it. But your greatness is different from a sale. A sale has a beginning and a closing date. Your greatness does not have a closing date. It is forever. It is an eternity set on your inside, right? It doesn't close. You can only wake up and be more aware of it. Even if you wake up at 70, your greatness will answer you. But I don't want you to wait till you're 70. I want you to start now to develop a lifestyle of daily living awake, keeping your eyes open, keeping your spirit energized, keeping your spirit awake, as it were, to what God has deposited inside of you. To what he has deposited inside of you, because there is greatness inside of you. So you must learn to live awake. And one of the ways, it now moves me to the next thing, how to live consciously, how to be consciously aware. I want you to begin to practice what I call mindfulness. Be mindful of what's going on your inside. Reduce the noise. Some of us are too noisy. Is it that we are too noisy with the wrong things, or we are numb with nothing? There are two categories of people. So they are not noisy on their inside, but they are numb. They don't hear anything, right? So, but you need to start practicing mindfulness. In other words, start thinking about what you're thinking, right? Start understanding what's going on your inside. Travel inwards, as it were, and from there, live outward. I don't know if I made any sense. Travel inwards, and from there, live outwards. That's how to practice mindfulness. Know the thoughts that you are ruminating upon per time. A lot of us, the reason why we are not consciously aware is because we have housed, invited, how do I put it? We have housed negative thoughts for too long, such that we don't have the capacity anymore, right, to see what God has put on our inside. I want you to begin to practice mindfulness. Begin to be conscious of what you are thinking about, what you are experiencing, as it were. And that is what will now take me, how to practice mindfulness, what will take me to the next level in this conscious awareness. And that is conscious confessions. This is so powerful. I used it in my personal life and it changed me tremendously. Conscious confessions, not absent-minded confessions. I want you, after this webinar, if you are in this state of where you are not consciously aware of what you carry, I want you to create for yourself. If you need to send me a DM or something, I will do it. I will be glad to help after this webinar. Conscious confessions. You write out things like, I am great. I am sent to this world on an assignment. The world has a problem with my name on it, and until I show up, it remains a problem, right? I am needed. I am wanted. I am a prized possession. I am mighty upon the earth. I am sent. I am a sent vessel. The world needs me. The world needs me. I am valuable. When you create these confessions and say them over again, something happens to you, and I will tell you what. When you are making these confessions consciously, your subconscious mind is what is involved. As you continue to make these confessions, there is a shift. Your subconscious takes up these confessions and begins to recondition your mind from a state of unconsciousness to a state of conscious awareness. All of a sudden, when you lie down and close your eyes, you begin to see pictures of yourself. You begin to see what you can do. It started from a place of conscious confessions. Guys, if you don't take anything from this particular code, please, I am begging you, this thing is a game changer. Conscious confessions, create for yourself personal conscious confessions as relates to the greatness that you carry. When you keep saying these things, you will shift on your inside. And when you shift on your inside, you begin to see the outer world with new eyes. And once you begin to see the outer world with new eyes, you begin to see problems that you are meant to solve. The reason why people walk around and nothing moves them, right? You see children on the road begging, it doesn't move you. You see the decadence in society and you're like, it's not my business. It's because you are numb. It's because you are not you're not consciously aware of what you carry. That's why. So my job this morning in this code is to wake you up from that slumber, as it were, and cause you to live awake. And that's what will now move me to the last one, which is conscious actions. Conscious actions, right? Because when you begin to confess and begin to say things in line with the greatness that is in you, automatically, by virtue of subconscious conditioning, you begin to live out those things. You begin to act in line with what you have been confessing, but you cannot take action on something that is not embedded in your subconscious mind. And that is why you must deliberately embed your greatness, as it were, a conscious awareness, as it were, of your greatness in your subconscious mind. Do you know that when I sleep, even this night, I am sleeping, but I'm like in a trance most often than not, solving one problem, doing one thing. That is a state of awakeness. That is a state of being alive. That is a state of living awake, as it were, and not living, but you're sleeping. You're numb. You're numb. It is time to wake up. It is time to wake up. Because usually in every human being, there's what I call the small you and the big you. The small you and the big you. The small you has a very, very loud voice. And the small you is what is always telling you that you cannot do this. You cannot amount to this. You are inept. You don't have the qualifications for this next level that you're going through. Every time you want to evolve into a higher dimension of yourself, there is somebody that is always present to question it, and that's the small you. So what I do, and this is my own secret, I don't wait for small you to talk before I talk. I make sure that my voice is louder than small you. When I mean my voice, I'm talking about the big you. So don't wait, because a lot of us wait. And then when we hear something, especially Christians, and we say, no, I reject it. I reject it. Don't wait to be given an auto-suggestion. Create a lifestyle of mindfulness of your own self-curated suggestions, so that when auto-suggestions comes, it is automatically repelled. I don't know if I am making sense. So is it better to wait for auto-suggestions to come, then you say, I reject, I cancel, I this, or you are a walking, living, self-curated positive suggestions for your future, so that when these negative auto-suggestions come that are brought out by small you, automatically you negate it. Something in you repels it. It can't pass. There is a barricade, and that is how to live consciously aware. Your job is to silence the small you consistently until it no longer has a voice. But let me tell you, small you is very persistent, so it will keep showing up. But when it learns that you have grown yourself to this level of awareness, conscious awareness, your self-mastery, self-awareness, and your confessions, and a clear view of who you are, even small you will respect you. Yeah. So please live consciously aware of what you carry. Live consciously aware of what you carry. And I've already explained to you, if you don't even know what to carry, just still apply all the things I've told you. Start with confessions. Start with living awake. Start with living inwards, and then traveling from there outwards, rather from traveling outwards and going inwards. Do you get me? So that now that we are finished with code 1, we are going to move into code 2. And that is a compelling vision. This one has my heart. I can teach on vision forever. I can teach on vision forever. I'm telling you, maybe that's why I'm even an eye doctor. Compelling vision. This is the second code. Compelling vision. And I would just love you to read with me these wonderful quotes by people I love. I hope this meeting is being recorded. Yeah, it is. The first one is, just look at this. Vision is a divine mental preview of coming attractions. It is what you are able to see today as a potentiality for your tomorrow. Wow. This is by Dr. Cindy Trim. Every time I read this quote, something in me just jumps. That vision is a divine mental preview of coming attractions. It is what you are able to see today as a potentiality for your tomorrow. And then my own quote, like what I understand vision as, is what I have here simplified. Simply, vision is seeing the future through the lens of divinity. Vision is seeing the future through the lens of divinity. Awesome. Awesome. If you will manifest epic dimensions of your greatness, you must be a person of vision. You must be, that's why we said in the other code that you must live awake. You must be a person that is living awake. The greatness is not in you, it's not about you. God did not put greatness in you for you. He put greatness in you for others. So, therefore, You must be able to see where you are going so that you can take others there too. If you don't know where you are going, then you can't take other people there. And in other words, it means that you cannot manifest your greatness. For a man must have a clear view of where he is headed before he can take people there. I will say it like this: if there is no vision, then there is no mission. And then if there is no mission, then there is no manifestation of greatness. Because manifestation, greatness in and of itself is not potential. It's okay, let's put it this way: it's a potential in you, but the only way it can be manifested or it can be unleashed is by it moving from its potentiality to its kinetic form, right? So if you must take people somewhere, then you must know where you are going. And that is why compelling vision is a very strong code, one of the major pillars of unleashing your greatness. You must have what I call a compelling vision. Having a vision is not enough. Having a vision is not enough. It must be compelling enough. Awareness of the greatness that you carry, being aware of that greatness is not enough, right? The question is, what are you doing with what you are aware of? Because if you are aware of something, then you have to leverage it. If you're aware of something and you're not leveraging it, then it's as good as you're not aware of it. Some of you are so sure. If I ask you, you're not in that stage that says, I don't know what I carry. You're like, I know that I have so much on my inside. I know that I've been sent to this industry. I know that I've been sent to this sphere of influence, but you don't have results to show for it. Why? The reason is simple. You are not executing your greatness. Because being aware of your greatness, like I said before, is not enough. You must execute your greatness, as it were, to even be accounted as somebody who has unleashed greatness. Why are you not executing your greatness? Some people come to me on one-on-one coaching or mentorship, and they're like, I have these ideas. I know what I've been born for. There's so much on my inside. I'm supposed to do this and do that. And when they announce everything, they say, but I had this thing in January, and it's November. I have nothing to show for it. You know what? I just boil it down to one thing. I just boil it down to one thing: the absence of a compelling vision. Because what people don't know, you think that that people say, okay, I caught a vision. A vision can be caught, right? But okay, let me put it this way. But a compelling vision catches you. You are not the one that catches a vision. When a vision takes hold of you, you seemingly lose your self-will, as it were. When you sleep, you are seeing it. When you walk, you are seeing it. When you're in the office, you are seeing it, right? So it is impossible for you not to execute. Every time there is a problem with consistent, deliberate execution, boil it down to a problem. When you get down to the problem, it is a lack of compelling vision. Because, this is my quote also, something I created from myself based on my personal experiences. I discovered that the tenacity required for execution, executing greatness is powered by the compelling force of a God-given, authentic vision. I will say that again. The tenacity required for execution of greatness is powered by a compelling force of a God-given, authentic vision. I will underline God-given and authentic, because too often a lot of people are running with a vision that is not theirs just because it looks fancy and you saw it on social media. This person is selling this, so let me go sell it. This person is coaching, so let me go coach. This person is doing this, so let me go do this. This person is an influencer, so I will go and influence. But what happens that when you run with a borrowed vision, you are running on an energy that is not unique to that vision. Therefore, it will stop you halfway. And that is why it's so important to catch your own unique, compelling vision. When it hits you, my sisters and my brothers, you don't have a will of your own, as it were. It takes a hold on you. Because what powers execution is vision. And allow me to tilt into the scripture for a minute. It is not a spiritual meeting, but the Bible is one of the greatest books ever written. In Habakkuk, God appeared to him and said, he said, right, he said, son of man, what do you see? That's the first thing he asked him, because God will never work with a man that has his eyes closed. He can't. So he came to Habakkuk. He was testing his visionary side. And he said, son of man, what do you see? God doesn't want you to necessarily see everything. He just wants you to catch a compelling vision. He said, son of man, what do you see? And he said, I see this, that. Then he now told me, because you have seen, then write the vision. He said, make it plain that he may run that reads it. Too often than not, we think that scripture applies to somebody else that will read a vision. No, it applies to you. You write the vision down because there is a power, because along your execution of the God-given vision that God has given to you, there will be some times that you are tired. There will be some times that you are discouraged. What will give you, re-energize you, and give you the power to get up and run again is what you have written. So that's why God is saying, whenever you have a vision, he says, told Habakkuk, write it down, that he may run. That running is execution. So until you catch a vision, you cannot run. In other words, you cannot execute. In other words, you cannot execute greatness. So that is why the catching a compelling vision is so powerful. It's so powerful. He says, what do you see? What are you seeing? Live awake. Make sure your eyes are open. If you want to be relevant in this decade, and in this century, in this season that we are in, you must be somebody who has his eyes open and who is running with a vision. It can be a vision in healthcare. It can be a vision in education. It can even be a vision in your marriage. But you must run with something, because that's what powers execution. And there is a portion. I know that this vision thing, people say, they come again. Oh, this vision. How do I get a vision? How do I be a visionary? Please, let's break it down. It's not something ambiguous. It's not like, oh, I want to, build another Harvard, as it were, or I want to train 100,000 African children, or I want to have an NGO that caters to. Calm down. It's not ambiguous. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. It's just living with your eyes open. And then I know that you'll be asking me, somebody here is saying, they're talking about vision. So how do I catch a vision? I got you. I'm going to show you. Just stick with me. How can I be a person that is a visionary? How can I live awake? How can I live with my eyes open? So I'm going to be telling you how you can catch a vision. The first step to be a person that catches a vision is to ask relevant questions. Can somebody put that up for me? To ask relevant questions. And these relevant questions are directed to three people. Ask relevant questions to God, ask relevant questions to you, yourself, and then ask relevant questions to the environment. Once you start asking questions like this to God, relevant questions to yourself, relevant questions to the environment as which way, you will begin to download answers that are not normal. I am telling you. God does not meet somebody who is not inquisitive. He does not meet somebody who is not inquisitive. He doesn't hand over a vision to somebody who is not hungry. I have that in slides, those questions. He doesn't meet somebody who is not hungry. You must be hungry. You must be, as it were, positioned to seek. Somebody put up, can you mute? Somebody's on. Can you mute, please? Ask relevant questions to God, to yourself, and to the environment. Begin to ask God, what is the problem upon planet Earth that has my name on it? What problem do you want me to solve? Because whether you like it or not, there is a problem upon the earth that has your name on it. And it will remain a problem for a specific period of time until you show up. I will tell you why I say a specific period. Because God is not in want of people. If he puts something in your heart and there is an itch, a stirring that God is calling you to something, and you don't take advantage of that stirring and begin to do something about what he's stirring you to do or what you have seen, before you know it, right before your eyes, is going to raise up somebody else to do it. But be that as it may, there is a problem with your name on it. Ask God, what is that problem? What is it? What is it? Because he will always look at Zechariah, the same thing. He met him, said, son of man, what do you see? What do you see? He's saying the same thing. He told Habakkuk, he said, stand upon your watch. Why was he telling him to stand? I'm coming there. I'm just coming there. Let me calm down. So ask yourself the question, what am I on earth for? What triggers me? What makes me unhappy and what makes me happy? These are the questions you should be asking yourself. Then look at the environment, like for me, and that is why I'm so sure that I'm going to do something about children in the African continent. I must do it. Because every time I look at my environment, the questions I'm asking my environment is, what can I do to get children off the streets? A lot of Africans, a lot of us too often always ask the what question. Sorry, the why question. And that is the wrong question to ask. Why is this thing like this? Why is the economy like this? Why is there no light? Why is there no this? That is not the question a visionary asks. A visionary does not ask why. A visionary asks, what can I do? And that is what I've been asking. This question has been in my head. What can I do about these children that are littered around the streets in Port Harcourt? They are littered on the streets in Lagos, in Nigeria, on the African continent. How do we pull out these children from the streets and give them a life that is better and more fulfilling? So that's what I've been asking. Not why is this thing like this now? Why? No. It is not enough to ask why. If you're asking why, then you have not yet taken the posture of a visionary. The second question, the second step to being a person of vision is develop a heart of compassion and humility. You will notice that as I go on, all these codes are linked together. So when I say develop a heart of compassion and humanity, it takes us back to the first school. Living awake, not being numb to people's pain, because a lot of us are living in a bubble. Because you live in a gated estate, you know, things are going well for you, your marriage is good, your children are going to the best schools, you have food on your table, you have clothes on your back, you are numb to the suffering of other people. You are numb to the suffering of other people. You are not living awake, as it were. You are not living with humanity at your being, at the center of your being. You are not compassionate. If you are not compassionate, God cannot hand you a vision. Your heart must burn for something. Your heart must cry for something. When he sees that hunger, then he hands you an authentic vision. You must develop a heart of bust that bubble. A lot is happening outside your bubble. Or some of you, you may not even be in that state where you are 100% satisfied, as it were, but you think that you are in a situation that is the worst. But let me bust your bubble a bit. There are people who are doing much worse than you have. And that there are people who, in that unique situation that you are in right now, you have their solutions. You have their solutions. And that is why one of my favorite quotes, which is a quote I generated for myself, is that in the pursuit of purpose, we will pursue purpose, whether in pain, in need, or in distress, because the vision outweighs our present circumstances. Then I now said, I ended that quote with, because in the pursuit of purpose, everything changes, including our present circumstances. So if you're where you are and saying, oh, because of how I am and how disadvantaged I am, I cannot help people. I have news for you. It's going to be a very long time before you come out from that disadvantage. Because your coming out of that disadvantage is hooked to your helping other people come out from their own disadvantages. So come out from that bubble, regardless of which end of the spectrum you are. Either you are living very comfortable or you are living in a condition that you don't think is worthy enough. You have something to offer. You can live with a heart of compassion and kindness. And that was a quality that Jesus had. The Bible says, moved with compassion. Moved with compassion. He did this, he did that, he did that. The ability to do most times comes from a heart of compassion. How compassionate are you? The third thing, the third step on how to, be a person of vision is to take on a visionary posture. Take on, I hope somebody's writing this in the comment section so that somebody can write it down, if you didn't get it. Take on a visionary posture. There is a posture of a visionary, and I will explain that to you. Did you know that when he met Habakkuk, he told Habakkuk, arise, stand upon your watch. See, why didn't he let Habakkuk sit down upon his watch? Why didn't he let him lie down upon his watch? Why didn't he let him saunter upon his watch? But he told him, Stand upon your word. What does it mean? There is a posture a visionary takes to download vision. If you're not in that posture, forget about downloading vision. And I will share the posture with you shortly. Everybody he has made, he met somebody, he told him, arise and go down to the potter's house. My question is, God, you are speaking with me here. Tell me, why should I go down to the potter's house to hear you? And you know, with me here talking. But God was telling him, I need you to take on the posture of a visionary, because I cannot download weighty stuff to somebody who is in a posture that is not the posture of a visionary. Who is not in the posture of a visionary. Sorry. Yeah. You must be in that posture of a visionary. And that is why he told Habakkuk, stand. He told this, go to the potter's house. If you look through the Bible, you will see them. You see a lot. So I'm going to share with you 6 postures of a visionary. And I'll make it simple because they all start with hers, because I love, let's put it like maybe I'm a wordsmith and I just love things to align. Now, the first, it's practicing, is what I call stillness. That's the posture of a visionary. You must be still to hear. You must be still to download, because a noisy soul cannot capture a compelling vision. A noisy soul cannot capture, does not even have the ability, even if it wanted to, capture a compelling vision. That speaks to somebody listening to me right now. You are hungry. It's not like you're not living awake. God, show me something. I need to work with something. So, though you are hungry, you want to catch a vision, but the state of your soul, which is noisy, is acting as a barricade. So even when that vision downloads, it cannot pass through. It can't pass through. And that's the first one. You must practice stillness. You must be still on your inside. Your ears must be open to hear. You can't be noisy. You must have time for yourself where you are still. The second is solitude. Solitude. You can't be everywhere at the same time. I was talking with one of my sisters who is on this call sometime, and she told me something so profound. And that's, I actually practice the same thing. She said sometimes she'll wake up at night in a dark room and just sit down alone. She won't say anything. 1 hour has passed. She is quiet. She is alone. Because in the world today where there is so much noise, you go on social media, you go to work, everywhere is buzzing. You are never alone, right? You need to be alone. Because if you look at most of the people that God handed visions to, check it for yourself. Most of the time they are alone. Look at Habakkuk. Look at Zechariah. Look at Nehemiah. You can keep calling them. They are alone. You must get out time where you are alone, away from husband, away from children, away from friends, away from colleagues. Alone. The third one is Sabbathing. Sabbath, S-A-B-A-T-H, Sabbathing. And that's taking out periods of time where you can travel or go somewhere or just be alone and just Sabbath. Just replenish yourself, as it were. There you can download vision. There you can download vision. The fourth is studying. Studying, make a practice of studying. Every person who gives diligence to studying always has his eyes open. I am telling you. Always has his eyes, because there's something that study does to you. It shifts your mind, opens your mind to possibilities, and positions your mind, as it were, to be in a position where you can download weighty stuff. If you're not studying, you can't be a person of vision. You can't be a person of vision. And then in line with studying is what I call, you must have what we call scrivenings. You must be a scribe. You must be a scrivener. Then if you want to make it continuous, scrivenings, S-C-R-I-V-E-N-I-N-G-S. Mean a scribe. You must be somebody who always writes. You cannot be a person of vision without having a journal by you when you sleep, having a journal by you when you pray, having a journal by you in your office. Do you know that you can even leverage smart devices? For me, sometimes I use my Evernote, my Google Notes, because sometimes on the go and I'm in the car and something drops in my spirit. I pause, I pack. Sometimes I make a voice note. Sometimes I write it down on my Google Notes and I save them there. But if you have a hard copy or a soft copy, whatever it is, but just make sure that you practice scribbling. You are a scribe. You write. You write. Because when you say, like I said earlier, when they say write the vision, make it plain. At some point, as you go ahead with your vision and unleashing your greatness, sometimes you will be tired. You're like, I've put in a lot. I am just tired. And then I don't know if it happened to you. Then you went back to your notes and see what God told you or what he showed you. All of a sudden, energy is infused into your being and you get yourself back on track. And that is why it's good to write. That is done about taking on a visionary posture. Number 4, stay in the midst of fellow visionaries. This one is so good. Stay in the midst of fellow visionaries. What does it mean? If you have 10 seeing people and you join them, you'll be the 11th person that is seen. But if you have 10 blind people and you join them, it's only a matter of time, you'll be the 12th blind person. You must have a community of people that have their eyes open. This one is automatic. Did you know that in the Bible, Saul is not a prophet? He doesn't have any business with the lineage of prophets. But Samuel told him, he says, as you go, you will meet a company of prophets. When you meet them, though you have never prophesied in your life, though you are not from the tribe of Judah, or from the tribe of prophets, as it were, right? When you come into them, don't pray, don't sing, don't fast, don't ask me for the spirit of prophecy, just be in their midst. Automatically, the spirit of prophecy will rest upon you. I call it catalytic growth by association. Something happens to you just by being in a company of people that see. So that's the 4th one. Stay in the midst of fellow visionaries. Because some of you, the only kind of friends you have are people who are so shallow-minded, who are so short-sighted, who don't see anything that is 1 millimeter away from them. I'm not saying you should let them go, because sometimes maybe they are, I don't know, maybe they help you in one way or the other in some part of your life, but you need to deliberately curate yourself. Put yourself in the midst of people that see, in the midst of people who have that every time. Have you ever met with somebody? A good example is on this call, and I know that she knows herself. I have some other people like that also. Every time I speak to her, she's like, oh, there's just something burning in my heart. And you know the funny thing about her? She's not just saying about something. She said, even for you, I saw you doing this. I saw you doing that. I'm like, calm down. Like, you're even catching a vision for me and for yourself at the same time. Tell me how I'm not going to be seen if I'm in the midst of this kind of people, right? There is no way I will be blind. It's not possible. It's not possible. The 5th one, the 5th step in being a person that can be a person of vision is, excuse me, please, is to execute rapidly. Rapid execution. That's the 5th step. Rapid execution. Because when God hands you a vision, every vision, when handed to you, immediately let's put it this way. When a vision is handed to you the first time, it has a quantum energy that comes with it. When a vision is shown to you the first time, there is an energy, a quantum energy that comes with it that dissipates after some time. How many of you can you go back, please? How many of you can identify with me that have you ever been in a situation, God showed you something, and you are so excited, I'm actually in code 3, and you're so excited, right? And you're like, this is so good. Your heart is burning. After some time, it dissipates. You're like, you just be like, he showed you in January, by April, you don't feel that energy again. The reason is simple. Every vision God hands you comes with a quantum of energy. If not taken advantage of, immediately dissipates after some time. And that is why it's important to be a person that executes. If God shows you something, begin to do something immediately about that thing. Now, let me bring a balance, because sometimes when God shows you a vision, it doesn't mean that you should carry out the vision immediately. Sometimes the vision is for 1 year. That's why he says the vision is for an appointed time. That appointed time may be now. That appointed time may be in the next 1 week. That appointed time may be in the next 1 month. That appointed time may be in the next 1 year. And it may even be in the next 5 or 10 years. But my question to you is, why did he show you now, even though it's going to be in the next 10 years? I will give you the answer. He expects you to start doing something immediately with that vision. What does he expect you to start doing? He expects you to become the person fit to actualize that vision. Because the person that catches a vision, the person that catches a compelling vision is not the same person that executes it. I will explain that. God does not hand you a vision because of your present capabilities. He hands you a vision he hands you a vision based on your potentialities and what is possible. I'll say that again. God does not hand you a vision based on your present capacity. He hands you a vision based on what you can be to become the person that can actualize that vision. So between when God shows you a vision and the commencement of that vision, God expects you to grow. There's something called being fit for purpose. There's something called being fit for greatness. So if God shows you between okay, let me put it this way, the download of a vision and the actualization of that vision, or sorry, the commencement of that vision, there is a space. That space is for you to become fit, because you will evolve into the person that can actualize that vision. Let me give you a typical example. I hope I'm not speaking over your heads this morning. If God shows you a vision and say, you are going to be the, let's say, World Health Organization or World Bank, the president, in the next 20 years, you saw it. Like nobody can take it from you. You saw it in the next 15 years, in the next 20 years, right? Or in the next 10 years. It will be foolish of you to close the vision book and say, God has shown me that I will be the president of World Bank, without doing anything with what he has shown you. What are you supposed to do? You ask yourself, what can I do to become the person fit to sit as a president on the World Bank? Then you start going to a knowledge quest. You start taking courses. You start going for your master's, your PhD. You start networking yourself into the room of people who are in that sphere of influence. What you're doing is becoming the person fit for the vision. Do you know that even me sitting right now on this call and speaking to you, what I'm doing right now is only a fragment, like it's so tiny of the picture that God has shown me. But I know that doing this is me being fit for the person who can actualize what he has shown me. If I don't do this, then I can't do that. Execute rapidly. You must take what he has shown you and begin to execute. But most of us think that execution is only when you go and start building a school. And start execution is also growth from your inside to become the person who can execute. And that is why we talked about, let me borrow that quote again, that the tenacity needed for execution is powered by the compelling force of a God-given authentic vision. That brings me, okay, it's not the last, second to the last. The last point on how to become have visionary mentors and coaches. Who is speaking to you? Who are you listening from? For Samuel, he had an ally. You must have somebody, hey, God have mercy. You must have somebody that you're listening to. And that person must be visionary. If you have a coach, don't just wake up and say, and get any coach. If you're getting a coach or a mentor, that person must have the ability to see. Because even some of the people that you snigger on and look down on are people who can see. Because though Eli was blind physically, his inner eyes were open, so that when Samuel heard and ran to him, Eli knew what Samuel did not know, though he had his physical eyes blinded. So you need to have visionary, I'm not going to stay too long on that, visionary mentors and coaches. Number 7, you need to serve in a visionary environment if you can. That's talking about volunteering, go to places that have, if you've seen a vision in your heart, and go and volunteer with somebody who is running with a vision similar to what has been shown you. That's one of the ways to become a person of vision. I would put a pause before I go to the third core, the third code. Can you just drop in the comment section what has hit you, for the past, how long have you been talking? 1 hour. Wow, 1 hour. Can you just drop in the comment section? Just tell me your light bulb moment. What hits you? What is the word that is for you? What have you gotten? What is something that you heard and you've not heard in that dimension? Something that it's for you. Can you just drop quickly on the chat and then let me see that while I grab a glass of water? Can I see your comments coming in? You guys will not know. There are prizes to be won. Somebody said making conscious confession. That's Julie. Great. Making conscious confession. So powerful. Weighing up negative thoughts. Powerful. Someone said the vision must be compelling enough to drive you to greatness. Awesome, Queen. P says live awake. Execute rapidly. That's by Mary Gold. Yes. Please don't be silent. Don't be silent. That there is a time for my vision. Great, that's by Jupiter. But I have to start the doing now. So good, excellent. Working on your vision by building capacity. Thank you, my sister. Working on your vision by building capacity. Awesome. Oh, Queen said there is a posture where you can run with vision. Don't live numb to the environment. Oh, great. Conscious confessions. The third one, somebody's asking the third one. The third one was take on a visionary posture. The third one was take on a visionary posture. So I'm so glad that you're all following me and you're getting your light bulb moment. And I just hope that after this session, you can apply it systematically to your life and achieve tangible results. So we move on to the third code, and that's the core message. The core message. The third slide is core message. The first one was conscious awareness. The second was compelling vision. And the third is core message. Core message. It is from what you can see. Your core message speaks to the language with which you relate in your sphere of influence, or which you relate to the people that you have been sent to. It's from what you see that you can create your core message. And that is why compelling vision came before core message. Because when you see, you write, is it not? So if you cannot see, then you don't have a message. So one of the cardinal codes for greatness is your core message, is what is the unique message that you have been given by God to the world, right? For example, what my core message, let me just, okay, it can also be known as your purpose statement. And let me just say it now, I have Unleash Your Greatness coaching program coming up in March. Now, I will break down this core message. After that program, you will have what I call your purpose. All these things, what is my purpose? I don't know what I'm doing. See, that day, complete deliverance. You will have in your hand your purpose statement, or what I call your core message. Like for me now, should I say out my core message to you? My core message and purpose statement is related to, but not limited by, using my gifts of counseling, writing, reading, teaching to help visionary women unleash their greatness, live a life of impact, influence, and affluence, and maximize their potentials. Your core message. This is unique to me. If you wake me up, I will tell you my core message. That is what you need. One of the major codes of greatness. You must have a core message. A core message keeps you in track. A core message doesn't make you dilly-dally. Like if you're, usually when you're running your purposeful path, right? You can decide to look left and say, this person is doing very well. Oh, are you sure I will not move from fashion like this to tech? It's like tech is what is happening right now. I need to move to IT. Oh yeah, in IT, like, people who are doing finance, they are the ones that are making money. I need to shift. When you have a compelling vision and a core message, it keeps you in track. It keeps you authentic to your calling, your vision, your purpose, such that if somebody else is doing something, it doesn't bother you because you know what you saw. Stick with, I will tell you this for free. When God shows you something, call out, as it were, create for yourself a core message from it and stick to what was shown you, regardless of what you see around. You will do well in what God has shown you and not what others have shown you. This is why you must develop your core message, because your core message is how you show up to the world. If I ask 1 or 2 or 10 people and they say, if I ask you now, okay, let me ask. One word. One word, one word. Waiting. A new message. Somebody say, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, back on. Okay, so I asked the question. I said, if you were to use one word to describe me, oh, okay, please put that in the comment section. I just want to use an example to elucidate this code. One word, if you've listened to me for a while, please can I have your comment so that we can continue? Enthusiastic. No, I mean, not like you're describing my person. I'm talking about my message. My message. You were to ask, what does Dr. Ezine talk about? What is her message, right? What would you say? Not how I am, but what my message is. Purpose. Thank you, Choma. Next person is something I'm looking for. Vision. Thank you. I'm still looking for something. 2 people have gotten purpose, vision. You have a free expo on the call already. One word to describe my potential. Thank you, Fayekemi. Can I say the last one? All of you are sure for me. Greatness. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. But all of you are right. If you say purpose, vision, greatness, and that's because of that's how I showed up to my world. So you want to be that person that if I call your name and say Jovita, somebody can be to say future forward fashion, right? If I call somebody's name Jennifer, somebody should be able to say parenting. Your message, you should have a core message. So I won't dwell on that for too long. Can we move on to the next code, which is number 4, catalytic growth. Catalytic growth. Can I have that on my slide, please? Catalytic growth. Admin. Okay, now that you are aware, you have about, conscious awareness, we talk about compelling vision, we talk about your core message. The 4th code is catalytic growth. Catalytic is there on purpose. Catalytic growth. Now that you know that you have a vision, like we said the other time, you must become the person fit to carry out that that vision. Therefore, you must curate for yourself what I call a systematic personal growth plan. You must make a habit of growing, of learning, of unlearning, of relearning. You must make a habit of growing. You must make a habit of learning, right? You can't just sit and become, I say, I have a vision. In fact, if you don't manifest greatness, it's your fault. And that's because you couldn't, can I have my slide, please? And that's because you didn't put yourself in the crucible of greatness. To execute a vision, I said the last time, you must become the person fit for that vision. Because every time you're shown a version of greatness, like some of you have already unleashed one version, you want to move to the next one. There is somebody that you must become. Because what you don't, let me put it this way. Some of us have been in a season and you're sensing that it's time to move to the next season. You are sensing that there's a higher dimension of your greatness that is calling forth. And you're like, how do I move? Let me say something to you that is so profound. I've used for my personal life. You don't walk out of a season. You don't wish yourself out of a season. You grow out of a season. You grow out of a season. You don't walk out of a season. Find the key players in your industry, where you are right now, what they do, what do they feed their mind on, who do they listen to, what conferences do they go for, what resource materials are they interacting with. Find those things and put yourself there. Because wisdom is replicable, wisdom is transferable, results are reduplicable. You can duplicate results just by looking at somebody who is living the future that you have seen that you are not yet manifesting. The reason is simple. Go and get the framework, how the person move from here to here, apply to your own unique context, and you will evolve and release a level of greatness you never thought possible. Because every time you are shown a new version of the greatness that you are to manifest, or a new version of the vision that you are to manifest, please don't ask, how do I enter? How do I do it? How do I enter? I need to do this. Don't do that. Don't start hustling and say, no, I need to. My mates are going fast. Stop it. Don't hustle. The right question you should ask is, how much must I grow? Who must I become to enter this new level? Who must I become to enter this new level? Because the demands of a new season pales in comparison to the demands of a previous season. The season that is beckoning on you right now, the demands of that season is going to pale in comparison to the demands of your previous season. Therefore, you must rigorously, painstakingly grow to become the person who can fulfill those demands. I will say that again, that the demands of a new season or a new version of your greatness pales in comparison to the demands of a previous season. Therefore, you must rigorously grow, painstakingly grow to become the person who can fulfill those demands. It's as simple as it. That is why catalytic growth is not negotiable. If you must unleash your greatness, if you must unleash new versions of your greatness, your personal growth, your personal development, your catalytic growth is not negotiable. You must have a systematic growth plan. What do I mean? I taught on that in our whole Women's Network. I think that's 2 weeks ago. What do I mean by systematic growth plan? Don't be a person that grows haphazardly. What do I mean? Today you are up, you read one book, the next time you are reading another book is in the next 3 years, the next 3 months, you attend one course tomorrow, like that's haphazard. If you grow haphazardly, you will also manifest haphazardly. You must create a habit, a system where you are constantly growing in an environment that is catalytic. And that is why you must have coaches. That is why you must be in communities. That is why you must have people you're listening to all the time. Before I came on this call, I don't know, like I was just telling my sister before I came on this call, yesterday night from 7 till 12, I was on a coaching call, right? I was not the one coaching. No, I was being coached. 5 hours, my head, like I didn't sleep. And I'm here again this morning. Do you know why? It is a system, my personal system of growth. The way I curated it, every day I'm learning something. There is no day that I'm not growing because I created a system for it. And that is what you must do, because the rapid manifestation of the different versions of your greatness will be catalyzed by unprecedented growth. The rapid manifestation of the different dimensions of your greatness will be catalyzed by unprecedented growth. If you are not growing, you are not becoming. And if you're not becoming, you cannot do. And if you cannot do or execute, then you cannot live a life of greatness. It's as simple as that. You can't put the horse before the, no. You must first be, then you do, then you will have. Sometimes I put it this way, that the rate at which you grow is proportional to the rate at which you unleash a new version of your greatness. So if you want to rapidly evolve, then you must rapidly grow. So instead of saying, look at this lady, I'm bemoaning yourself, look at the way she's releasing this, or look at that guy, the way he's launching a new business line, having new ideas, bringing out new results, proffering new solutions. That person is manifesting at that level because the person is growing at that level. If you want to rapidly catalyze your manifestation or you're evolving, then you must catalyze your growth. There are no two ways about it. You must be in a constant search for new answers, new innovations to the present problems in your sphere of influence, right? You must keep growing to be that person that can solve those problems. Because what is relevance? Relevance is somebody who appears on the scene and solves problems that have been there for long or for ages. Such a person can never be irrelevant. And when you are relevant, you are manifesting greatness. That is why you must grow, because nobody knows it all. You don't know it all. You must grow. You must grow. And if you're somebody who is in the knowledge industry, what do I mean by the knowledge industry? Meaning that you teach people either in the classroom, in the university classroom, in kindergarten, college, high school, all those things, or you're into the coaching assignment, right? Or you're a consultant, you have anything to do with knowledge. It is even much more important for you to engage consistently with new bodies of knowledge. You can't come out and be bringing out, I don't know, and be bringing out archaic ideas, things that are no longer relevant. You must stay relevant. And the only way to stay relevant is to catalyze your growth. Is to catalyze your growth. That's the only way to stay relevant. To catalyze your growth. So I want to encourage you, if you're on this call, please, I am begging you, make sure you are a person who is always like you are hungry. Like maybe, okay, let me put it this way. Please, if you're on this call, maybe you should go back. Maybe we'll share the link with you to your emails. It's free. You go on my YouTube channel, and then you will see, I think last 2 weeks, I taught on personal growth and development. I will show you how to learn. There I taught on your different learning metabolisms, how to learn faster, how to assimilate knowledge, and how to apply it. Because it's not only knowing, it's also applying, because knowledge is not power. I hope you know. It's the application of knowledge that is power. Knowledge is not power, it's the application of knowledge that is power. Okay, can we now move to the next code, which is number 5? The next code, number 5. Yes, number 5. Can I have the next code, number 5? Next code, number 5. Competent contribution. The 5th code to unleashing your greatness, to living a life of greatness. Competent contributions. And I will read this quote by my humble self to you. And I hope you draw value from this quote. Your value is not determined by the number of people you serve, but by how you serve them. Wow. Did this ring a bell? Did you catch something from this? Your value is not determined by the number of people you serve, but by how you serve them. So now you are now conscious of your awareness. You have a compelling vision. You have a core message. You are growing. So it's time to execute. You must execute. You must contribute. You must serve. Because if you are somebody who is a harbinger of knowledge, who is somebody who just keeps taking knowledge, and you are never serving with that knowledge, or serving with your unique giftings, or serving with your greatness, you will become still. And it also leads to frustration. So that is why it's so important to serve. Serve. Competent contribution speaks to mastery and excellence in your place of service. Competent contributions speaks to mastery and excellence in your place of service. You must have something you are contributing in your sphere of influence. Anybody, like I said before, like I told you that each of these codes will keep overlapping themselves. I said before that the way to stay relevant is to be a solution provider. You must bring solution to the table. But while you are bringing solution to the table, you must bring solution with finesse, with mastery, with excellence that stands you out from the crowd. Because greatness is a separator. Greatness keeps you away from the crowd, because a lot of people are in your sphere of influence. If you're in the fashion industry and you're listening to me, we have a lot of fashion designers. People have been sewing since. If you're in the knowledge sector, we have it just like now, there's a proliferation, of people into the knowledge sector. You have coaches, you have mentors, you have teachers and all that. So there are many, right? If you're in tech, there are many. If you're in healthcare, we have numerous doctors, numerous healthcare professionals. If you're in finance, there are many. Tell me your sphere of influence. If you're in politics, there are many. Whatever mountain of influence you're operating in, there are many. So why would I come to you? What is your unique distinguishing factor? And that is why this particular pillar or this particular code is so important. Competent contributions. So we don't just want you to contribute to your sphere of influence. We don't just want you to proffer solutions. We want you to proffer excellent solutions, marinated in mastery. Hey, like when you bring it up, people are like, no, this is different. And they're like, who did this? Who brought this to the table? And some of you are what I call intrapreneurs. Like some of you are entrepreneurs, right? You own your own business and you're pushing your brand in a particular sector. But some of you, you're operating in a particular sector, but you don't necessarily own your own business. That does not mean that you cannot unleash your greatness. Because I thank you, Holy Spirit, for bringing this to my mind. When we talk about unleashing your greatness, it doesn't mean that you must unleash your greatness in your own, that you must have created a company and start doing something. No. Right there in your present company, you can stand out as to somebody who exudes, manifests, unleashes different dimensions of our greatness. You must be a solution provider and provide it with excellence. Because according to my coach, and I love the way she puts it, there is a mass democratization of mediocrity, right? A lot of mediocres everywhere, in every sector. You come out, people are giving below par results. You ask for a dress. Let me enter the fashion industry. And somebody's giving you a dress, and then you turn the dress upside down, and then you're having, threads or, falling out from everywhere. No excellence. Or you tell somebody, to give you, just like, let me give an example. The person who designed these lights. I know how many times I had to tell him, go back. No, the fonts must be together. The fonts, the color code must run across all the different slides simultaneously and evenly. I don't like the fact that number 2, the font of number 2 is different from the font of number 3. Why? Mass democratization of mediocrity. A lot of people are mediocre. They never give their best. Never. So in as much as we want you to execute, we want you to contribute, but we want you to contribute excellently. You must put mastery to your craft. You must hone your craft. You must own it. You must be a walking proof that excellence exists. Because there is so much mediocritization, every time somebody stands out with something that looks like excellent, it's not even excellent yet. People flock towards that person. People flock towards that person. And this is where a lot of visionary leaders are in, especially in this our continent called Africa. We never want to put in the best. We never want to do more, be more, give more, go the extra mile to make sure that you are showing up to your world with excellence, with finesse, right? Hone your craft. If you're in the knowledge industry, hone your craft. Politics, wherever it is, education, arts and entertainment. And a lot of people, let me even bring this down. I don't know if we have believers on this call, but a lot of believers fall into this trap. Fall into this trap. You don't want to put in the work, but you want to get the rewards. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And you're wondering, they don't patronize me. Let me tell you this for free. I know that family members can be funny and then they don't patronize people like their fellow family members. But could it just be that what you're giving to the world is below par? So don't force me to wear something substandard because you're my family member and you're into fashion. I don't know why I'm hitting on fashion. I don't just know why. Right? Don't force me. Or don't force me like somebody on this call and say, you must listen to me. No. Just like what I'm giving to you right now, a typical example, this is a free webinar. You're not paying for it. But I know the excellence. I know the finesse. I know the work that I put behind the scene to appear here today and to deliver the way I'm delivering. Because it is not the webinar at stake. It is my brand. Every time somebody relates with my brand, I want them to relate with my brand with excellence. When they think about AZN, some of you are saying proficiency. I saw the things you are writing. Purpose, intentionality, innovation. That's what I want to be known for. I want to be able to proffer solutions and proffer them excellently. So we need to break ourselves from this paradigm and give excellent service and get paid for it. Stop cutting corners. Do excellent work and it will speak for you. In the beginning, it will look like you're not making money. In the beginning, it will look like you're not making impact. But once you are known for a person that doesn't cut corners, people will flock to you. Do you know why? A lot of people are mediocre. So if you just do a little to push your craft up, a top notch, a notch higher, people will flock to you regardless of your industry. Some of you, even as you are in companies, you have board meetings, you have meetings in your company, you are showing up late, mass mediocritization. You are given a task to do in your company, your boss gives you something to do, and then you come back with excuses, or you come back with a shabby work, mediocritization, and then you're asking for a promotion. How? On what platform will you be promoted? How will you be promoted? How will you unleash your greatness? This one is so, I don't know, this one is so dear to me. Because the difference between a man that will be epic in his greatness and a man that will just be normal is mastery, is excellence, is honing of crafts, is going a notch higher. You must master your craft. You must master, I don't care what it is, you must master your craft and give it excellently. Excellence, it's your brand. Protect your brand and make sure that the way people are perceiving your brand, they are perceiving it as excellent and not mediocre. Because usually in every industry, 20% of the people in that industry are eating 80% of the market share. And that 20% are the people who have honed their craft, who have mastered their craft, who are high on excellence, who are big on excellence, who don't just churn out anything to the world because they just have to churn out. Wait, you must not release it. There is no pressure. If it is not good, keep it behind until you get it right. Don't release it. And if you do something wrong, own up to it. And I will tell you, because oh my goodness, this really, really matters to me, right? It really matters to me. And that's why I will go back to the quote I said, your value is not measured by the people that you are tending to. It's measured by how you serve. So let me tell you, those that listen to me, even if it's one person on this call, I will give it my best, because the one person on the call is my ticket to the nations. The one person that wears your dress, the one customer that you have, is your ticket to 1 million customers. Remove and debunk that mediocrization mindset from your mind. That every time, is it not one person? No, it's not one person. And I'm sorry that I'm being so passionate and it looks like maybe I'm shouting. Let me calm down. But it hurts me personally. And I will tell you a little story. I'm an optometrist, right? And I run a clinic. I just want to give you an example of excellence. If you say your values are excellent, I have values for my clinic, the clinic I run. And one of my core values is excellence, integrity, right? If you say that, then stick to it. I had a friend come to my clinic and then got a pair of glasses, paid for it, so much money. He ordered that frame abroad, a designer frame. I think 80,000 or something, between 60 and 80,000 or something. Depending on 100K, I can't even remember. He gave me that frame, right? Even his lenses he had paid for. You know, cumulatively, maybe it would be like 100 and some, I don't know, but it was really a huge amount as at the time. And then when he gave me this frame, I somehow, it has never happened to me in my practice, that frame got missing. And he needed to use that frame for an event. He needed it in 1 week time. And I had a frame that looked like the frame, the same thing, but not a lower version, like a lower quality than that one. And I'm like, how do I, first of all, I knew I must replace that frame. That one is not, he was my friend. I could have met him and say, hey, I'm sorry. And he will forgive me. He'll be like, don't worry, I understand. I didn't tell him. You know what I did? I ordered the lens, fitted it into the frame that I had, right? That looked like his own. And I was praying seriously that he would not recognize the difference. Why? Because I wanted him also to be satisfied by using that frame for that event that he wanted to go for. When I did that, I started searching the whole of the US for the frame I got missing. I finally found it on their site. Now, how do I get it to Nigeria? I paid through my nose for fast delivery. DHL called my family, sent my card. My card wasn't going through, called somebody in the US to use their card. There was a problem, you know, back and forth. To cut the long story short, that frame came. He used the frame from then and didn't recognize it. Do you know I had to order another lens? And this lens is ranging in 50-something of thousands. I'm just showing you how much I lost, right? I ordered it, put it in, and now sent it to him. And he called me confused. I don't know what's going on. Well, then I now started telling him the story. And he was like, no, you should have told me. I said, no. Do you know what I was doing? I was staying through to my core value, which is excellence. We don't give excuses. We just produce results, solutions that are epic, excellent, and are top notch. And he said he can never forget it. He can't. And I felt good with myself. I lost money, right? But I didn't lose my excellence. I didn't lose my integrity. I didn't have a low rating on my brand. So please show up excellently. Show up premium. Show up premium. Stop giving below par results wherever you are, to your boss, whoever. Make sure you come out excellently. Proper solutions. Don't be in a company and say, this is just our company. Because how you serve somebody else's company will mirror how you will serve yours. Some of you are in companies right now and you're like, I'm tired of this place. I'm tired of that. Or some of you are not even in any company. Maybe you are a stay-at-home mom. How are you? How is your home running? Is it running with excellence? Is it running with finesse? Right? Because that's your company. That's your company. Own it. And tell it when you're submitting your CV, say, I have run a company with two crazy toddlers. If I can manage them, I can manage anybody. Don't mind me, but I'm sure you get the picture. Please show up excellently. What's this thing again? This code. Conscious, what's this code now? Competent contributions. Please show up excellently. Show up excellently. Somebody told me a story, you know, and she was in one of all these blue chip companies, and they had not promoted people for like 5-6 years. And she just sat down. I was like, looked at the problems in the companies. That thing I was telling you in the other, I've forgotten what code was that. Stop asking why. Ask what. Even in your company, ask what. Even in your house, stop asking why. Ask what. And she was like, what can I do to solve this problem? She located the problems of the company, sat down, created a 12-point agenda on how this company will move from where it was right now to where it should be, their preferred future. You know, put it on a PowerPoint presentation. Sent the idea to her HM, the white manager and the Nigerian manager and all that, the GM. And at that time, she was just a junior level staff. And she said that the man replied her mail and said, I have never seen this kind of thing before. He said, thank you for committing to the mastery of your crafts. And they held a meeting, a general meeting. And then they called her to come and present it. Okay, somebody presented it, and when the meeting was over, I was like, so this agenda was curated and generated and put together by so and so. And then they called her. And then the next year they were promoting. They had not promoted anybody in 6 years. They promoted only 3 people in that company. Just 3 people, 2 senior level managers and 1 unknown person. And she was that person just because she brought solutions. I repeat, anyone that brings forth solutions, not just solutions that are competent can never go out, can never be irrelevant. Never. Can never be irrelevant. Hone your craft. I know that I'm sounding like a cracked CD, but please do permit me. This is so important. Show up. When you're showing up, make sure some of you, the way you show up, how you look, how you speak, everything cumulates into one. Be present. Show up present. Show up powerfully, right? Show up purposefully. When you walk into the room, let them know that somebody walked in. When you speak, let them know that somebody is speaking. When you write, let somebody know that somebody is writing. When you give a presentation, let them know that this presentation went to Harvard. Give premium. Now that takes me to the sixth one. I sat on this one for so long because it's so important to me, and it's also a cardinal code on this route, on this journey to greatness. So the sixth one is your courageous stance. And this is my quote again. I'll be reading, I'll be quoting myself again. To be risk averse is to be greatness averse. Safety is overrated. Choose significance. Wow. To be risk averse is to be greatness averse. Safety is overrated. Choose significance. You must be a person of courage to take on greatness. Because some of you, you have been shown all the other steps, you have been saying, okay, now stand up and move. You are afraid. My question to you is why? 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 You just want to be safe. There is no relevance in safety. In the street called safety, you can never be relevant. Relevance and safety are two parallel lines. They never meet. They never meet. Do it afraid. Fail if you must, but learn from it. God has put something in your heart. You have seen a compelling vision. You are growing. And now it's time to share your giftings with the world, to share your greatness with the world. But for some reason, you can't put your foot forward because you keep self-doubting yourself. Why are you self-doubting yourself? Meanwhile, there are a lot of people who don't know as much as you do, but they are doing epic things because the person that will be remembered is not somebody who has greatness embedded in them. It's somebody who manifested it, no matter how small. No matter how small. And that is why a lot of people, like you see, I look at this person is giving a mediocre work and people are rushing to the person. And you're wondering, with the kind of look at what this person is doing. How come this person has so much customers? Do you know why? The real is not available. So if the real is not available, then the fake will be patronized. So I want you to take up a courageous stance as regards your vision, as regards your purposeful work, as regards your greatness journey, and begin to do the things that you're afraid of. If you fail, you learn again. If you fail, you learn again. Because as you keep going on, fear will creep in. But you need to master fear. Fear is a learned response from childhood. You didn't come with it from heaven. So you need to know how to debunk it. You need to know how to overcome fear and do what you're supposed to do. It's a learned response from childhood. So the way you can use conscious confessions, right, to reprogram your mind, you can also use conscious confessions to reprogram that subconscious conditioning of not being able to take a move. You can reprogram your mind. You can reprogram your mind. You can. Because courage, as it were, is not the absence of fear. Like fear will come knocking always, but courage is saying like, who are you, fear? Despite what I fear, I'm going ahead. I'm doing what God has told me to do. I'm moving ahead. No matter what, I will do what I'm supposed to do. If people laugh at me, fine. I come back and I learn from my mistakes and I start again. Your people will find you. Some of you are trying to, God has shown you a particular industry, sphere of influence that you're supposed to be operating in. And you're just asking, how will I enter here with all these big people? All these big, who will notice me? Fear. But do you know what Joshua said? He said, though they be giants in the land, he said that the giants are bred for me. And that's one of my confessions. I have that. I said that, Lord, as I enter this sphere of influence, I know that there are giants in the land, but they are bred for me. They are bred for me. I will shine my own light and my people will come to me. There are people that you have been sent to. There are people that those people have been sent to. Your own will come to you. Step out in fear, or just step out and be courageous about it. And be courageous about it. Don't sit down and keep saying tomorrow, 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 I will do this, I will do that, and tomorrow is going and you have not done it, and you're just living in fear. It's such a disempowering way to live. Such a disempowering way to live. So I want you to kick fear in the butt, whatever it is that God has put in your heart to do, please go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. If you fail, it's fine. You learn again. In fact, let me say this. I used to say it to my coaching, and then when I tell them, they will start laughing. I'll say that failure is a necessary requirement. It should be on your CV on the path to success. Ask anybody who has manifested greatness epically, who is manifesting greatness in an epic dimension. They have a track record of failure behind them. But the difference between them and you is that they stepped out despite the failure that they experienced. So whatever failure you're experiencing or whatever failure that you had experienced, please do it again. Do it again. Keep doing it till you get it right. And we will all applaud you. The world does not applaud the person that tried. The world does not applaud a person that had ideas. The world applauds a person who did. Who did. Congratulations is given to somebody who did, not somebody who wanted to do. Do. By all means, do. Do. And I hope that after this call, you just take on the courage. And sometimes you may even need a coach to push you or a mentor and say you must do it, to hold you by the hand. If you need that, get one. Or if you need sisters that will help you, get it. By all means, crush fear. Crush it completely. Crush it completely. So I think I've handled your courageous stance and what you understand by courageous stance. That will move me to the 7th code, which is commendable resilience. Commendable resilience. This one is so powerful. Now look at this quote. Just look at this quote by Calvin Coolidge. Look at it. It says, nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. It says talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded geniuses is almost a proverb. Education alone will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. It now ended with this statement that is so profound. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. And that brings me to times as seasons. You may be in a season in your life where it looks like, you have tried everything. You know that God has given you this vision. You are working on it, but it looks as if you are running on a slow pace. Persist. Because what you should understand about seasons is that your behavior, your attitude in a season will shorten or lengthen that season. Don't look at somebody and become jealous or become bitter. And say this person is moving ahead. That person is doing this. And me, I've been putting in the work. I've been doing all this. And yet I'm not achieving results as I thought I would. Or I'm not achieving results in the dimension I thought was possible. Persist. Because let me give you a warning. Vision, purposeful work, the greatness work is not an easy work. And it's not a walk in the park. There will be times where you're wondering, and you just ask yourself, who sent me a message? Maybe I would have just been a normal person, numb to the world, numb to myself, and be normal, right? And you're wondering, how did I get there? That is when you need persistence. That is when you need to stand and understand that this is a season, it will pass. This is a season, it will pass. The people that you're listening to right now that are, household names in their spheres of influence, right now, they didn't just wake up and they moved there. They had times where they were covered. There are seasons called the covered seasons, and you will need to learn how to steward those seasons. Because sometimes in this journey, for 1-2 years, you may just be growing. Nobody has heard you. You have not produced anything, right? And it looks like everybody's living around, everybody's moving. And then you now enter hustle mode. Please don't enter hustle mode. That mode where it's like everybody's doing. They have opened Fashion Academy. They've opened everybody has opened a school, or that they are running their own coaching assignment. Okay, let me go and run my own because it's as if my own is not happening. Calm down. Calm down. Hustle mode will lead to frustration because every time you see somebody in hustle mode, that person usually borrows somebody else's vision. Don't do it. Steward your seasons and know when it's next to move to the next. Trust the process. This generation, we don't want process. We just want to hammer. When you are not a nail, or you just want to blow, when you are not a fuse, trust the process. There is a process. Nobody just arrived, right? There is a process. So if you're in a season that looks like it's a covered season, stay in that season. Steward it. In due time, you'll be uncovered and be announced your word in an epic way. Because the things that you cannot get, yes, you're not a fuse. You're not if you don't blow. Because when you blow, you cannot blow again because you have blown the blow that has scattered the blowy. If you understand what I say. So please stay together. We need you together. We don't want you to blow off. And then we can't have somebody to execute because you are blown and you are blown, right? So please, who you become, let me say this to you. Who you become on this journey to greatness is more important than what you achieve. Did you hear that? I'll say it again. Who you become on this journey to greatness is more important than what you achieve. What is inside is more solid, more valuable, more precious than what is outside. Steward your seasons. Don't let anybody put you under undue pressure. Don't allow it at all. Don't allow it. Don't allow anybody put you under undue pressure. How many of you understand what I'm talking about here? Steward your seasons here. So don't start from nursery 1, right? And you want to fly to university. It doesn't work that way. Don't be pressured. Don't let anybody pressure you. You're not a pressure pot. Don't allow anybody pressure you. At the same time, I'm not saying that you should recline into complacency, or into dullness. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that walk from a place of vision. You know what you saw. That is why it's so important. That is why it's so important, right? To see. Because when you see, nothing shakes you from without. You know what you saw. And you know that this is just a phase. It will pass. It will manifest. So whatever it is in your heart that God has put in your heart, and you have been working on it, and it looks like you're not making progress, I want to let you know that something is happening. That is not tangible does not mean that it's not happening. When it happens, you'll be wondering, how did I get here? Yeah. So even if it looks as if some of you are feeling like I've lost my time, I don't know. I think I'm hearing somebody on this call. You're feeling like you've lost time, and because of that, you feel like everybody has gone ahead of you. You need to get back time, right? You need to get back. You've done a lot of things. Maybe you failed in this and failed in that. Please, I'm begging you. Just steward the season. Yes, you didn't lose any time, right? You just learned your lessons, and you're starting again. Be grateful for the opportunity to start again. Don't enter hustle mode. Don't, because the pressure, leave all these things you're seeing on social media. Is me that is telling you for. Just, I have inside information. Leave all these things you're seeing on social media. Leave it. Leave it, I'm begging you. And steward your seasons. Be resilient on your inside. You know what resilience is? Resilience is that attitude, that attribute that even when you've been hit down, you stand up again. Inner resilience. Some of us are so emotionally fragile that any small thing that hits us, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. I put in my best. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. What's this man that founded electricity again? If Thomas Edison woke up and said, I'm not doing it again. I've done this 99 times. Will me and you be seeing? In fact, I'll be dark. You won't see me. toughen your, grow emotional stability. If something hits you, say it has hit you, no problem. But we move. According to social media people, we move forward. Take time to heal if you need to heal, but stand up again and move. Yes, move. So that brings me to the last code for the day, the last code. And this one, constructive collaborations. I have another code, but I didn't put it here. I will just tell you that one from my heart. While we were sitting here, it just dropped in my spirit, man. Yeah, because knowledge is progressive. You don't know everything. I'm telling you, while we were sitting here, it just dropped in my heart. So I will just share that with you after this. Look at this quotes by Alexandra Graham. Great discoveries, improvements involve the cooperation of many minds. Look at that. Look at that. In this season, I'm talking about the season where we are in right now in the world, you cannot renegade on collaborations. You cannot be of that school of thought that say, I will do it myself. No, you will cut yourself short. You must learn the art of constructive collaborations. What do I mean? Not just wake up and you want to collaborate with anybody because they have so many followers on social media. No, you don't collaborate based on followership. You collaborate based on vision. Don't join yourself to somebody's chariot that is going somewhere else when you're going another place just because the person has 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers, has a great following on social media, or has a lot of friends. No, you don't collaborate based on numbers. You collaborate based on vision. So you will need to collaborate. And in this decade, like from now, the next 10 years, you're going to be seeing a lot of collaborations, strange collaborations, not even between people in the same industry, right? You're going to be seeing strange collaborations, like collaborations from arts and entertainment with healthcare. Can you imagine? What has Davido got to do with somebody like Okonjo-Iweala, right? But you're going to be seeing them. I am telling you, because collaborations is the way forward in this decade. Not to talk of your own industry. You don't know it all, and then two people coming together is so powerful. But some of you want to be the person that will write the book. You want to take all the glory. Are you God? Are you Jesus? Are you Elohim? Learn to collaborate with people. Look for people that have the same vision with you and collaborate with them. And then some of you are just in your high horse. Two kinds of people. Is either you're in your high horse or you are so low on self-esteem and fear, you don't know how to approach people. For someone, so on one side, people like say, who does she think she is? I'm not meeting her, I can do it alone. Another group of people, see, she's high up there. I don't know how I will, how I will come in or how I approach her. Regardless of where you are wrong. You must begin to take up those moves. Enter the people's inboxes, enter people's DM and say, hello, good afternoon. And please, let me even teach you this one. When you're entering an inbox of somebody that you've never met before, or somebody you want to collaborate with, I beg of you, don't enter and say hi. Don't. If I see those, I ignore those kind of things. So you say, hello, good afternoon. I admire the work you're doing in your sphere of industry. I admire what you're doing. I admire your job and the work you're doing. And I just feel like you go on, you pitch, you say what you want to have to offer. You bring your offer to the table. And then when you're bringing your offer to the table, please don't be selfish. Don't say, I want you to collaborate with me so that, no, bring it and then highlight the benefit it will be for that person. Because everybody wants to, how will I put it, wants to succeed in that way. Everybody wants to know what is in this for me. So go in and say, okay, I run a fashion line and I was thinking of collaborating with you since you also run, I run a children brand, and since you run an Ankara fashion line, is there a way we can come together and, like form a synergy where we can use Adiwear prints, maybe you sell the prints and I do the sewing, and then we both post it on our various platforms. Do you see? Or two people who are in the knowledge industry and say, can we just write a book together? And when you write it together, because you are drawing wealth from two different sources, it's more powerful. The impact is more. You must not do everything yourself. You must learn the art of constructive collaborations. And when I'm speaking, it may look like I'm speaking over your head, and I hope I'm not speaking over your head. Because even if you're at home listening to me right now, and then all you're doing is just sitting, you can collaborate with your fellow people around. You can. Even in the people who are entrepreneurs, like people who are working for establishments. Some of you want to take all the glory. It's me that found all the, when I'm presenting the final quarterly reports, I am the one that did it. No other person helped me in this company. It is my genius, only me. Calm down. If you can do it alone, fine. But if you know that the impact will be more powerful, if you collaborate with somebody else, by all means, go and enter that person's office and say, see, these are the problems I'm seeing. Do you think, since you're in the finance department and the problems of this company comes from finance, and I'm IT, and the problem comes from IT, can we come together and tender a solution to these problems together? How many of you understand what I'm saying? Constructive collaborations. Oh, great. And that's exactly what I'm also, even like take for example, right? My coaching program that is coming up in March, which you should sign up for. As in, I don't sell myself enough, but you need to sign up for that coaching program. I am telling you, it's premium, and I'm just giving it to the world for nothing. I am telling you, you should sign up for it. Make sure that let that be a gift to yourself for 2022. After this meeting, I'm going to send you the link to your email addresses, and then you can sign up immediately before we close, because there's so much that I can take, because I like to give my all in my coaching assignment. So I don't take more than a number of people, but you should. But I was going somewhere. There was this lady, she's a C-suite executive of a blue chip company, multinational, a blue chip multinational. And I met her in one of all this coaching, engagements. And so she's high up there. But I said, I want this lady on my coaching call, right? So I'm like, I went into her DM, men and brethren, I went into her DM in March or February. No, last year. So I told her, oh, thank you. Okay, first of all, I invited her for a live call. She came on my IG live, we talked. I sent her a message. I said, please, can I call you? I really want to discuss something important with you. After telling her a bit of what I wanted her to do in her DM. And I told her that if you don't allow me to place the call, I won't place the call. She saw it, she didn't read it, she read it, she didn't reply. I went back again, I kept going back again. She finally sent me the number, and I told her, until you tell me to call, I'm not placing a call. Etiquette, you also should learn that. And I did not, I didn't, for over a year. Finally, we got to God. I finally met her physically. I was supposed to have a meeting. We couldn't have a meeting. Then we had a Zoom call, I think about 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago. And I told her what I wanted her to do. And she said she's coming on that coaching call to teach on personal branding and etiquette. Like, she's been doing this for years. And I knew that I didn't just want her to teach in this call, in my coaching program coming up next month. I also wanted to have her in my space. Do you know why? There are dimensions I wanted to start thinking. And I saw that she's thinking in that level. And I was not yet there. But I went ahead and got her to come on my coaching program. Constructive collaborations, overlapping with courageous stance. Do you get me? You must collaborate. You must look for people that you can do big things, epic things with in this year. Sorry, in this decade. Yeah, you must. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from when I talk about constructive collaborations, and then being able to rise above your fears or above your superior complex, as it were, and go and meet people who you think that you should be doing things with in this season, and then do them. The final one that dropped in my heart, I told you something dropped in my heart while we were talking, is conspicuousness. If you know, there are 8 C's, so I added this one. This one is in 9. Conspicuousness. You must be conspicuous. It's long gone. The time that they keep saying, I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing, I'm humble. That time has ended. Right now, the world has moved into the digital space. You must make your mark on that space. You must make your mark. And I really zone into this one in my coaching program. You must make your mark in that space, whether it be on Instagram, Facebook, where are all these platforms, even TikTok, right? Everywhere. Just know the particular one that you want to use, but you cannot announce yourself to the world and you are social media averse. I'm sorry, it will not work. I know that you are shy. I know that you don't like being in your business, but people must know what you're about, because greatness is not a calling to your immediate locality. Greatness is a calling to affect nations. And in this day and age, the fastest way to affect nations is through the digital media space. We just want tweets. One tweet, you've reached 1 million people around the world. Tell me why you are insistent on doing things in the archaic way. Tell me why. So that was the last one. You have to be conspicuous. Make yourself visible. Make yourself known. Let us know what you're doing. And then while you are being known, or while you're making yourself known, remember, I told you it's an overlap. Make sure you're contributing, copying competently, with excellence, with mastery of crafts, with finesse. People will come looking for you. People will announce you. I am telling you. You see this greatness thing? We are in a journey. Greatness is not a destination, right? Greatness is a journey. And we are in this journey for life. For life. Guys, it's been 11, 12, 1. Wow, 3 hours. My goodness. Thank you so much for committing to your personal growth. I am so proud of all of you who logged in. Thank you so much for committing to your personal growth. We've come to the end of this webinar. Thank you for committing to your growth. I want you to go ahead, apply this code systematically to your unique context, unleash your greatness, one version at a time, and I'm going to see you at the top. I want you to do something for me. So you came here and then it's free, but you're going to do something for me. Regardless of the social media platform that you're in, I want you to spread the word. What did you learn here? On your WhatsApp statuses, on your Facebook pages, Instagram pages. And after this post, I'm going to make a post. After this call, I'm going to make a post on my Instagram. I want you to go there, type in your light bulb moment. If you're not on Insta, okay, let me give you my Instagram handle is Dr. Ezine Okule here. That's my Instagram handle. My Facebook is Ezine Ono Okule here. Please follow me on all my social media platforms. We'll also send you my YouTube link. Please subscribe. After this meeting, your gift to me will be to sound the alarm on the insights that you have gotten from this webinar. Put them on your statuses, on your IG handles, Facebook pages. Tag me on your stories so that I can repost. But before we go, your light bulb moments, your questions, 10 minutes, and then we are done. 10 minutes. The link is in the chat. My YouTube channel is on chat. Can somebody also pin or put in on the chat my Instagram handle, Facebook page, and all that. Jennifer, I think you're on this call, can you also put in the link for my coaching program coming up in March also? While we are doing that, please, if you have any questions or something that hits you, a word for you, please put it in. Can I have your comments? Please, I just want to know what your light bulb moment. You must tell me something. I know there are many things that hit you, but just tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anything, or your questions. Let me just answer them before we go. Thank you so much, Fire Kemi. Please, can you let me know your light bulb moments, it's your revelation moments, what you're going with. I know there are many, but just write them. I want to read them. If you have questions, please put in the questions. What can I do? Please, can you expatiate on that question? Guys, shake and see. The question is the question I am to ask. Now I'm asking, what are your, wow, I don't know why I'm not getting this question. The question, okay, those questions, okay, I get you. That the questions you are to ask that opens your mind to answers are your light bulb moments. Those questions we asked about asking God, yourself, and the environment. Is that what you're saying, Fayuke? Oh, great. Oh, great. Oh, great. I'm glad. Please, admin, are we posting the links for that coaching program? The links for my YouTube channel and all that should be there. Oh, it's okay. I understand. I perfectly understand. Okay, your light bulb moments. I'm seeing all of you. Pete says, steward your seasons. Don't walk from a place of pressure, walk from a place of vision. Ah, this is a tweetable moment. Pete, these are the things that you would put on, like, and tag me to it. Tag me to your stories, tag me on Facebook, everywhere. This is a powerful quote. Awesome. This is so good. Walk from a place of vision. Yes. Strategize your own growth plan. Exactly. Yes, don't grow haphazardly. Exactly. Awesome, Queen. Awesome. Anybody else before we go? We have about 5 minutes. Amara, please, I need you to play me a song before we go. And that's I Am Unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. Visionaries are not noisy. Exactly. Yes. Visionaries are not noisy. Great. Awesome. 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 Amara, please, I hope we have our closing song at the background. Unstoppable by Sia. I love the wordings of that song. Like, you are after this webinar, you're unstoppable, right? But if after this webinar you enter the coaching program for March, your unstoppability has been raised to power 100, like nothing. This year will be epic for you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Any other person? Okay, if we don't have any chats coming in, can we have our song?